Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Heaven can wait, we're only watching the skies. Hoping for the best, but expecting the worst. Are you gonna drop the bomb or not? Let us die young, let us live forever. Don't have the power, but we never say never. Sitting in the sand pit, life is a short trip. Music's for the sad man. Can you imagine when this race is run? Turn our faces into the sun. Praising our leaders, getting in tune. Music's played by the madman. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Summer like water, summer like the heat. Summer like melody, summer the beats. Sooner or later they'll all be gone. Why don't we stay young? It's hard to get on without a cause. I don't wanna perish like a fading horse. Youth is like diamonds in the sun. Diamonds are forever. So many adventures could happen today. So many songs that we forgot to play. So many dreams swinging out of the blue. We let them come true. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever. Forever young, I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever, forever, forever young. I wanna be forever young. Do you really wanna live forever? Forever. Hey everyone, I was trying to rig up my microphone, so I'm relying on my laptop audio. I'm hoping that you can still hear me okay. If you could let me know in chat. Hey Scout Inquirer, love to you from me and Sunny. Sunny is currently snoring her head off on the back of one of my couches. Hey Francesca. Hi Joey M. Wilson, I know. It's terribly sad. Um, I don't think any of the 10 people in those photos wanted to stay forever young. You can hear me? Awesome. So I'm not going to go live for like hours, but when the news broke yesterday that 9-year-old Ezra Blount had succumbed to absolutely horrific injuries, I actually cried. I got home and Joey had put up a video and I saw that while I was unloading my car, and I just started crying and crying for all of them, but also for the hundreds, if not thousands, of people who are going to live with PTSD because of what happened at Astroworld. So many young people seeing people dying and dead bodies and injured people crying out. Like I think it would have been impossible to not be traumatized if you were near anyone who was injured, or who passed out or who was trampled. It was just awful. But today I sort of woke up and now I'm kind of in the angry phase again about this. I'm angry as a lover of music festivals and concerts. I'm angry as a human being. I'm angry as a lawyer. And thank you for joining me on this channel. I'm going to keep just putting my crime stuff over here from now on. So hopefully you'll all know this is a place to come for anything to do with true crime. It's very disturbing, Francesca. I'm cabin up. I've been to the gym. I've just had a shower. I've washed my hair. So I didn't even bother making myself pretty because that doesn't really matter. There's a few things I want to talk about today, though, regarding Astroworld, that have just been really annoying me. And because of work, I wasn't able to go live any sooner than now. And I want to talk about that. We'll talk a little bit more about the victims, and also I'm going to end this live showing footage of many musicians at many concerts around the world stopping the concert because of what was happening in the crowd. It's just, I know horrible things happen the world over every day. I mean, today there was a shooting in Colorado, in Aurora. Looks like it was a drive-by shooting. Nobody at the moment has been, oh, there haven't been any deaths reported, but there's always something going on somewhere in the world that you just go, holy shit. But this one's just really resonating, and I'm going to be following the investigations and the outcome of those investigations very closely. So if you are new to my channel, although everyone in chat's very familiar with me and my channel, but please subscribe. We're a little channel, but we're a lovely community. So the first thing I want to talk about is we're a little channel. I was incredibly irritated earlier in the week when Travis Scott's representative spoke on his behalf for many reasons. I mean, for starters, be a man and represent yourself. Yes, he is now the subject of lots of lawsuits, but his representative was a former mayor of Baltimore, and she's his spokesperson. But I want to go through some of the things that she said and sort of rebut it based on like her comments and sort of rebuffing them. I've got the timeline of what happened. I'm just not buying this whole he had no idea it was going on bullshit. I'm just not. And the fact that he stopped the concert twice because of things that were happening in the audience, the fact that it was declared a mass casualty event at 9:38 and he performed through until 11 past 10, completed his show essentially, and then maintaining he didn't know anything about it till hours later at the after party. I call bullshit. I do. Yeah, I'm not buying what Travis and Kylie are selling here either. Hello, Aussie. G'day, cuz. How you doing? So I'm going to share the one of the millions of articles regarding his spokesperson. Let me just make sure I get the right article. Okay. The blame game. I'm also pretty irritated by a lot of things that are flying around YouTube, professing his innocence and so on. The fact is, this is now the subject of an investigation, including criminal charges. The FBI is involved. Like, if you want to defend him till the nth degree, maybe wait and see what the outcome of the investigations are first. I'm literally just going to go through the statement and rebuff it with information, factual information we know about what happened. But obviously, the ultimate decider of who's responsible is going to be the investigators. And I've always suspected it's going to be a lot of people are responsible. Not just Travis. I'm not saying he's the only one, but I am saying he had the ultimate opportunity to put an end to this. And I don't believe he had no idea that things were getting bad. Yeah, I tried to find that article before, Francesca. I saw that on Twitter a day or two ago about how, he lost a shoe and went absolutely ballistic about that. But meanwhile, there's ambulances actually in his crowd at his concert that's been declared a mass casualty event, and he just kept on singing. Yeah, Ezra Blount dying is just the worst. And that was the other thing I wanted to mention too. The people who are being incredibly critical about how there was even a 9-year-old. This was an all-ages concert. And I got taken to my first concert when I was 6 by my dad. It was an Australian band called Sherbet. Would have been my dad's birthday today too. Happy birthday, Mickey. And I spent the entire concert on his shoulders. Ezra Blount's dad, I have to get his name, it's not Travis, but he had Ezra on his shoulders as well. And he passed out. And as a result, Ezra ended up on the ground and he was repeatedly stomped on and trampled. Yeah, I'm sure, a lot of people have been talking about the shoe incident. Yeah, I'm very angry and upset as well, Scout, over their actions after the concert. And yes, it was Sherbet, Joey. Happy birthday, Mickey. Yeah, my beautiful dad got me into music and live music as a little and spent an entire concert on his shoulders watching Sherbet. Your brother used to torture you with, how's that? All right, so this isn't about Daryl Braithwaite and his band of merry sherbets. Let's have a look at this article, and this is kind of therapy for me to talk about it with you guys, but there's just a few comments that I want to rebut, and then I want to show you footage of musicians with humanity. So we've got Travis's rep saying he couldn't have stopped the concert, and the police also saying they couldn't have either. No. Some of you might have seen there's a statement by the rep that there was this 51-page document about all of the security and everything else at the concert, and there's a clause in there that says that only 2 people are actually able to stop the concert. But she's actually used that clause inappropriately, because that clause has got nothing to do with when shit is going down in the middle of a concert. It's all about like inclement weather. If there'd been like a massive COVID outbreak, that could have been reasons to pull the concert. Bad weather, all kinds of reasons, or natural disasters, whatever it might have been, or even sickness, some of the band's sick, whatever. They're the ones that have the authority to put an end to an event. It's got nothing to do with when the event is already well underway. And it's really disgusting that they're using that clause to defend this, because at the end of the day, even though people will say when the band's up on stage they can't see anything, and they're oblivious and there's all the noise and lights and everything else, well, I'm going to be showing you in a little while why that theory is complete bullshit. He had the ultimate power to stop it. There were plenty of people who knew about the mass casualty event that could have run it on the stage and stopped it. There were people clambering up and screaming at the cameraman that people were dying in the crowd, and they would have all had walkie-talkies and ways of communicating with other people around the arena as well, including backstage. So, yeah, not buying that for a minute. But yeah, so this spokeswoman is saying that he didn't have the authority to stop the performance. But like I've just said, who's really got the ultimate power? And if anything, this crowd was going ballistic hours before he even walked out onto stage. We all saw the footage. I've played it twice now on my channel of the storming of one of the gates and people getting trampled right back at 2 p.m. in the afternoon. He didn't come on stage till 9:02 p.m. The crowd was already surging at 8:30 p.m. He's up on the stage. Everyone's there to see him. It's his festival. He had the ultimate power. Even after stopping the show twice, the first time he stopped it, people were already screaming for help 10 minutes into his set. There were reports of casualties and an ambulance in the crowd by 9:30, like within less than half an hour of him starting the show. The police department were getting reports and phone-ins from the concert saying what was going on. There's even video footage of people in the audience dialing 911. You can see on their phone. They're dialing 911 from the concert. He stopped the show, ironically, at 9:30 as well for the first time. And then he told the audience to stick their middle finger in the air if they were okay. What's wrong with that? Absolutely everything. The people that are okay don't need to let him know they're okay. What needs to happen is people putting their hands up saying someone near them needs help and they're not okay. And as for the middle finger gesture, are you kidding me? He's such a turd burger, seriously. If he didn't already have a pass and past charges for this sort of shit, he's still a piece of shit human being. Yeah, I saw that too, but I couldn't verify it, so I'm not even going down that road. But if it's true, that's disgusting as well. Yeah, and I'm not going to show any more footage from the concert because it's just so distressing, but the footage of them dropping that girl and the brain injuries that she sustained and eventually succumbed to, absolutely horrific. I agree. And I also think he had the power to stop it. He was the person that everyone was there to see. But yeah, so he stops a gig and says, stick your finger up if you're okay. There's so much wrong with that. It wasn't about the people that are okay. It's like, put your hands up if there is somebody near you who needs help, who's not okay. I don't want to become like a critic of generations, but there's so many reports about a lot of the people in the crowd, and we saw it in the footage of the people being clambered over and stomped on when the gates were broken. But this guy represents that younger generation that I just want to punch in the head. Does not give a flying fuck. I'm sorry, he doesn't. And wanting to know or asking the crowd to put their hands up if they're okay shows how warped his thinking is. There's a friggin' ambulance in the crowd. At least one person's not okay. 8 minutes later, we had at 9:32 the second person getting up on the camera, the camera stand to try and stop it. That was Sienna Faith. Absolute legend. Aiden Cruz was the other kid. 9:38, it's declared a mass casualty event, and Live Nation said that they will cut the show short. And they didn't. Nothing happened. Then at 9:42, Travis stops the show again because he can see somebody's unconscious down in the crowd. And we've all seen footage of him watching that body being carried out. But the show kept going. By 9:46, there are police now down in the mosh pit, clearly visible, along with fireys, emergency services, ambulances, paramedics, you name it. 9:54, Drake comes out. And at 10:11, Travis finishes his set. He played every song he planned to play. That was over 30 minutes after this event was declared a mass casualty event. Get his face off my screen. So we're talking about Stephanie Rawlings Blake, the former Baltimore mayor and Scott's spokesperson. And she told CBS in an interview that the idea that Travis Scott could have stopped the Astroworld Festival was ludicrous. No. Yeah, all the instigating. Hey, what did you think of the name of my live? I was so proud of it when I wrote it. When I first put Rage Against the Astroworld machine, the machine is Travis and everyone else who's going to get heavily investigated. I mean, the police were very quick to say, hey, nothing to do with us. The audience, there's a lot of reports about their involvement behaviour. Live Nation. I mean, even the Houston police chief blamed the merchandise tent owners, security, you name it. There's a lot of people in addition to Travis. But to say he could have stopped it is ludicrous. No, it's not. He could have stopped it. Oh, sorry, it was a 59-page operations plan that the only two people who have the authority to stop the concert are the executive producer and the concert producer. BS. And I'm trying to get a hold of that document because I'm quite happy to go through it with everyone and show that it's irrelevant. It's about an opportunity to stop the concert or the festival before it even began. But I'm sorry, when you're performing and your event has been declared a mass casualty event and you're up on the stage and you've stopped it twice and people have been screaming out to stop the show 10 minutes into the show, and you keep on going. And even when you stop, you only ask the people who are okay to stick their hands in the air. It's just so bad, isn't it, guys? I know I'm preaching to the converted. Yeah. Oh, the lawsuits are just spiraling. Like, there's well over 200 now, and there'll be plenty more. Wait for all the PTSD diagnoses. How can young kids not have PTSD after seeing human beings being trampled, smothered, jumped on, dying in front of them, dead bodies being carried out, a girl being dropped on her head when she's being stretchered out? Like, how can you not ever be affected by that? There are people that will have it who were there but didn't see anything bad. Yeah, I'm sad and I'm mad too, Ozzy. That's why I'm doing this. I think we can all have a little chat, get it out of our system, and it's not going to be a very long live, like I said, but this Stephanie Rawlings Blake, wow. He wants to be responsible for the solution. And the rapper is looking into ways to prevent something like this from happening again. Now, don't get me wrong. If that is true, good. Learn from your mistakes. But this isn't your first mistake, buddy. This shit's happened before. We evolve as human beings because of shitty things that happen to us, and we learn from that. So many changes have come about from all kinds of world events that we've learned and gone, oh, okay, this is bad. How do we stop this ever happening again? Right? That's just how we are as human beings. Look at what happened after Hillsborough and the changes to not locking gates, the way they lined security gates up, making buildings impossible for people to not be able to clamber up onto if they need to be safe. So many changes came about just from that incident, which was horrific as well. But this guy's already had opportunities to learn from his own mistakes and his own criminal convictions, and this shit's still happening, and it's getting worse. But let's give him the benefit of the doubt. He doesn't want to be responsible for what happened, but he wants to be responsible for the solution. Do you know what I mean? Like, is this an entitled generation thing? That's the most important thing. Oh, I want to be responsible for the solution, not the cause. I can't stand entitlement. Now, the operations document given to Live Nation did not have an emergency plan in place to deal with the dangerous crowd surge, even though there'd been surges happening at Astroworld in 2019. I mean, this document is burn it. Hang on. Yeah, it's in there. I'll do another live on the document. But you kidding me? In 2021, there is nothing in that document about dangerous crowd surges. Not only have they happened at previous Astroworld and Travis Scott events, but they happen all the time. When was this document written? Was it written with a quill in 1823 or something? Regarding criticism, and rightly so, about him going to this after party at Dave and Buster's, he was there to regroup with his team and wasn't aware a tragedy had occurred until hours and hours after the concert. Are you kidding me? You don't regroup at a fucking restaurant where, there's stories of money being thrown around to pay for strippers and there's alcohol flowing and God knows what else is going up people's nostrils, you name it. That's not where you regroup. You telling me the guy who created this event, who's the golden child of Houston, Texas, apparently, nobody told him for hours and hours after the concert. He was on stage watching it happen. Being connected to the Kardashians, luckily I've never got into them. Not my shtick. I'm not really a fan of people who become gazillionaires because they were in a porno. Maybe I'm a bit envious, but, not my thing. Blake said on the news she was worried that a riot would have happened if they stopped. It was a riot already. That's the whole point. It already was a big, fat, ugly riot. And 10 young people have lost their lives because of it. And, yeah, look at it. There's fingers being pointed all over the place. Houston police, that police chief, wasn't he quick to go, oh, no, it wasn't us. He said it within the first 3 seconds of his press conference. Troy Finner didn't mention Travis Scott's name once in the entire press conference. That very first press conference that he did, very quick to say that the PD weren't responsible, didn't mention Travis Scott by name once, and also had to backpedal on the story they put out about the security guard getting injected in the neck. Oh, no, that didn't happen. He got hit in the head, apparently, allegedly. Live Nation, who said they were going to shut the whole thing down, didn't, and they're not commenting. Interesting. Now we've got Troy Finner in more damage control saying he personally warned Travis Scott prior to the event about concerns regarding the energy of the crowd. He also said the Houston PD told those in charge during the show to shut down the concert because they didn't have the authority to do so. You've got the fire chief, who I love, of Houston, Samuel Pena, saying Travis could have stopped the show once he realised members of the crowd were in danger. Yep. Yeah, the needle was a distraction. The artist, if he notices something that's going on, he can certainly pause that performance, which he did twice. Turn the lights on. I've been at concerts plenty of times when that's happened, and say we're not going to continue till this thing is resolved. Now, this article is a bit old. Unfortunately, it doesn't include the 10th victim, 9-year-old Ezra Blount, 9 years old. I think he was going to turn 10 next week. Like, that family. But yeah, they're mentioning there the mass casualty incident. That was declared at 9:38. Travis Scott started his performance at 9:02. And yes, there are a lot of lawsuits being filed, and I'll be following all of them with much interest. Scott vowed to pay for all funeral expenses for the families involved. Dude, you're going to be paying a lot more than that. And the fact that he's supporting Houston police, who couldn't even name him by name, wow, good on you, mate. So that's that. You don't know me at all. How nice to see you over here on the Smooth Criminal Podcast channel. It's a small channel, but it's got a lovely community. Good to have you here. So that's the rep for him, and I think she's doing way more damage than good. I just want to, even though I played Forever Young at the start and showed a photo of the victims, I do just want to give them a little bit more acknowledgement and go through them. And then we're going to end with why Travis Scott is a spineless twerp, and whatever's coming to him, he deserves. And anyone else responsible. Franco Patino, 21 years old. I can't get rid of the ads, I'm sorry. John Hilgert, 14. Brianna Rodriguez. Now, Brianna was a friend, or is still a friend, of one of the heroes from that audience, when there should have been hundreds more heroes. Aiden Cruz, the kid who jumped up on the cameraman platform to try and stop the concert, was there with his girlfriend, and Brianna was his girlfriend's best friend. So when he's screaming out, there are dead people down there, he's actually talking about Brianna. How heartbreaking is that? 16 years old. Rudy, now I think this is actually pronounced Pena, but I could be wrong. I've lost the article. 23. Danish Baig. He's the oldest victim at the tiny mere age of 27. Jacob E. Juranek, or Big Jake as he was known by his younger cousins. 20. Axel Acosta. Now, this is another heartbreaking. I mean, they're all heartbreaking. Oh my God, you listen to me on Apple Podcasts. I really need to do a new season of my podcast. I didn't know anyone listened to it. They are all babies. Axel Acosta, his family tried to find out if he was one of the victims and wasn't given any information. But a post-mortem photo of him was posted on social media, and that's how they learned that their beautiful child, nephew, brother, had died. Heartbreaking. 21. You can see that he was identified by his brother, Joel Acosta, when they circulated the photograph wanting to know who he was, and it made it onto social media. And that's how they learned that Axel had died. Madison Dubisky, 23. She was there with her brother. He lost her in the crowd. They were there together. He lost her. Couldn't find her. And she died. Bharti Shahani. This one's awful too. What happened to Bharti? She was the girl who was dropped as she was being stretchered out onto her head. And she later succumbed to horrific injuries. And little Ezra Blount, aged 9. And for the people out on YouTube who are once again choosing to be victim blamers, criticizing his dad for taking him to that concert, it was an all-ages concert, and there are millions of children all over the planet who were taken to concerts and music festivals by their mum or their dad, just like I was, as little teeny-weeny kidlets. And that's where the little seed of loving music and live music and music festivals is planted. Nobody goes to an all-ages show expecting their child to be trampled to death. No one. And if you stumble across channels out on YouTube where people are victim blaming and saying, what were people doing there with their children? What is it with people who do that? Look at what happened with Cleo Smith. What are parents taking a 4-year-old and a newborn baby, an 11-month-old baby, camping? Why do people project their own, how they choose to live their lives on other people? I'm glad I was born into a family where we were taken to concerts and propped up on our dad's shoulder to watch it and get to experience that amazing festival spirit of united music lovers of all ages. You become a tribe. It's got nothing to do with age. You're all there to have a good time and watch people perform music you love. I've sat next to people at music festivals with 6-week-old babies and gone, oh, that's pretty young. Like, they're up on the hill. The babies have the little noise-cancelling headphones on. But I know those kids will be dragged around to all the family-friendly festivals as little ones, and they'll end up then becoming festival angels and fairies themselves. He did market to kids. There was that whole... well, I don't know. There was a McDonald's promotion I was told initially, or I read somewhere, that it was a Happy Meal, but I did actually hear someone saying no, it was actually like a Travis Scott meal deal, but you got like a little Travis Scott superhero character thing, like a little toy. Kids were allowed to be there. It was an all ages event. Nobody takes their children off to something thinking they're going to lose their lives because things got way out of hand. But what I want to end with, and rest in peace to all of those beautiful young people whose lives were cut unbelievably short at an event that I truly believe could have been prevented. Yeah, there was the Fortnite concert, and he was kind of like a hologram or something. So just to end, I want to show this video. I hope you guys watch it. It's really interesting. It does go for about 6 minutes, but it shows how responsible musicians who give a fuck about their fans stop things like what happened at Astroworld from happening. And there's hundreds and hundreds of videos like this one. But I particularly like this one just because of the genre of music. I mean, there are slightly different genres in there, and you'll spot Kurt Cobain amongst them all. But these are some of the concerts that we're about to look at are way more hardcore than anything Travis Scott would ever be able to do. And I think what was really missing in so much of the footage that we've seen from Astroworld, and then you get those rare moments like Aiden Cruz and Sienna Faith desperately trying to stop it. But for the most part, the footage that we saw, it was people that just didn't give a fuck about anybody else. And that includes Travis Scott. So, yeah, I might have to stop and comment. I don't think I'm going to get struck by this channel. I'm not going to comment because it speaks for itself. I know that hindsight's 2020, but if only Travis Scott had an ounce of humanity in him and had taken a page out of one of these musicians' books.
Some people think that because they're at a show and because there's women dancing and trying to have a good time, it gives them the right to tear their fucking tops off when they're trying to have a good time out here. That's fucking bullshit.
Okay, everybody back up. There seems to be a medical issue. Make some room so the professionals can get in there, guys. Everybody good? Is everybody good there? Is he all right? Okay.
Pepper spray anybody. Whoa, they're just having fun. You know what? Whoa. This is a rock show. This is what we do at rock shows. We just spray up. Greg, can we do anything? They're taking those two guys away. They're just having fun, man, really.
Up on the field, eh, buddy? How's it feel, huh? Look at him, look at him,
Actually, I'm going to stop that. That was Kurt Cobain stopping his well, the Nirvana concert because a guy was assaulting a girl, and they not only stopped it to stop him, but they then also publicly humiliated him. Oh, Kurt. All right, let's keep going. I hope you find this interesting, guys. I noticed chat stopped, but maybe you're all just mesmerized that there are musicians the world over with massive hearts who actually care about their fans before they care about their dollars.
Hey, yo, hold up. Yo, we got a little problem up here.
Pick him up right now.
Everybody up.
Hey, yo, man. We know we've been stressing all night about being cool, and this is the reason why. Let's go over it one more time. When someone falls, what do you do?
Sorry to interrupt Hatebreed. I don't know that band, but Linkin Park just before, they had the whole crowd screaming out when they said, what do we do when someone falls? Pick them up. Imagine if that's what Travis Scott had done. Step back, everybody, and pick them up. All right, I'll keep playing it now. It's only 5 minutes long too. I lied, it's not 6 minutes long.
Pick him up, and if he's hurt, get an EMT. There's nothing honorable about kicking somebody when they're down. There's nothing honorable about that. So break it up, please.
All right, listen up, you f***ing assholes. That f***ing girl right there is like 15 f***ing years old, and you f***ing pieces of shit are molesting her while she's on the f***ing crowd. Your f***ing mothers should be ashamed of themselves, you pieces of shit.
Yeah, someone pass out, yeah. Make some space, my friends, make some space. Two people. Alright, make some space, guys, make some space, alright? Got one of our friends down there is not doing so well, so they're gonna take care of that first, so make sure you guys sing nice and orderly up on this side,
Hey! What's going on? Will you guys stop this shit? Just stop it over here, okay? Will you calm down, otherwise you're not gonna do the show. Come on. You guys are ruining it for the people out there, okay? Everybody stand up and move back a bit. Come on. Are you okay?
I think somebody's hurt. Well, let's be honest. Why don't you come out and stand up on stage with us? Just don't go near the fire. And security, if she's okay, you can bring her up here. All right?
So, is it ridiculous for anyone to think Travis Scott could have stopped it? You be the judge. See you all again very soon. And in the meantime, don't get struck by a smooth criminal. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining me.